At this point, everyone is aware of how significant the Hidden Road acquisition was for both XRP and Ripple. However, what if I told you that Ripple actually has a much larger secret behind this acquisition that they aren't telling us? We were able to figure it out through a number of the interviews that were conducted with well-known people like Monica Long and how they actually revealed some information about their plans for Hidden Road. In actuality, this is quite significant, particularly for XRP and the XRP ledger. Thus, you should pay special attention to this video. Since everyone's attention was drawn to a few events surrounding this acquisition, let's actually begin with the acquisition itself. The first was the $1.25 billion that Ripple had to pay in order to acquire this business. Second, the $3 trillion that was transported annually from Hidden Road became the center of attention. Thirdly, everyone's attention was drawn to the more than 300 prestigious institutions that really make use of Hidden Road. Once more, this is a significant event. These figures are obviously significant, but what if I told you that they go well beyond the $3 trillion annually and the more than 300 prestigious universities that are connected to Hidden Road? In fact, let's begin with what David Schwartz told us. The first was the volume of money transferred daily and the fact that the XRP ledger will be the primary center of this activity. As an illustration, the prime broker handles over 50 million transactions daily on multiple traditional rails, clearing upwards of $10 billion, and waits up to 24 hours for those transactions to settle. Imagine even a small amount of that activity occurring on the XRP ledger now. And that is just what Hidden Road intends to accomplish. He now adds that real-world assets tokenized on the XRP blockchain and collateral will not be used in the future. That is a focus, in my opinion, because what are they going to do next? Since this is where we first noticed the hints that were sent to us, we will return to this post. However, SBI Holdings actually highlighted this acquisition over here from Wrath of Connerin, and I did feature this in a video at the beginning of April. We have important. The fact that SBI formally announced that Ripple was purchasing Hidden Road intrigues me. With the plans for the Osaka exchange, there are undoubtedly some intriguing opportunities. It is with great pleasure that SBI Holdings and SBI Ripple Asia announced that Ripple Labs Inc., a significant SBI Group partner, will purchase Hidden Road and a major prime broker, using cash, XRP, and treasury shares. It's intriguing that SBI would draw attention to this, but I believe we also discovered the cause, which we'll discuss. However, let's proceed to this piece from Subjective Views, which served as the major update for Hidden Road. An Abu Dhabi office will be opened by Ripple's Hidden Road, a $1.25 billion asset broker acquisition. The company will provide institutional investors in the United Arab Emirates with clearing and prime brokerage services. This is significant because the main update is beginning to appear less than a month later. On April 17th, we discovered that Hidden Road had also been approved by FINRA for a broker-dealer license, which was a game-changer. I mean, this strengthens their skills in conventional financial markets and is a significant milestone in the growth of Hidden Road's fixed income prime brokerage platform. In other words, we examine stocks, bonds, and similar assets. And once more, this is exactly in line with Ripple's goals, which we will discuss. Let's go on to this significant update on the Abu Dhabi entity. Well, so they got ADGM's in principle permission. And here are a couple things if we zoom in just so you can see them. First of all, getting our IPA from ADGM is a big step forward for our company. Due to its strict regulations, ADGM is a crucial market for institutional expansion. The firm's continued dedication to international compliance and openness in both traditional and digital asset markets is emphasized by the IPA. This significant achievement expands on Hidden Road's expanding portfolio of licenses, certifications, and governmental approvals. The NE Netherlands Authority of the Financial Markets has granted Hidden Road Partners, CIV, NLBV, a permission to operate as a media investment firm and to offer crypto asset services. The UK Financial Conduct Authority has approved Hidden Road Partners CIV UK Limited as an AMLD5 and MyFID investment entity. Furthermore, Hidden Road Partners CIV US LLC is a member of the National Futures Association, Fixed Income Clearing Corporation, CFTC, Registered Futures Commission Merchant, Broker, dealer, member of the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority, and a Commodities Futures Trading Commission. Since the beginning, we have worked to give our clients easy access to both traditional and digital marketplaces. In order to fulfill that pledge, we are still actively seeking regulatory licenses globally because we understand the transparency and confidence that come from working inside well-defined regulatory frameworks. ADGM congratulates Hidden Road on obtaining the FSA's IPA to function as a financial services company subject to regulation. The vast array of prospects in Abu Dhabi is demonstrated by the growth of their services within the global financial hub. We anticipate that Hidden Road will be granted authorization to provide financial services and contribute to the vibrant ecosystem of ADGM. As we consider this once more, we are beginning to notice some significant developments around Hidden Road. We can also observe how regulated and compliant they are, which is a significant step that Ripple has already done. Let's now begin discussing the facts. Returning to David Schwartz. He continued, not to mention future use of collateral and real-world assets tokenized on the XRP ledger. These are therefore tangible assets. Even Hidden Road is now completely focused on the conventional financial markets, so we're considering equities and bonds. Monica Long then reiterates that the business will try to diversify into equities and bonds. Take a look at this. Payments are also somewhat of a foundational use case for other financial services. For example, if you consider security settlement, it culminates in a payment. We therefore believed that we ought to address this initially, but we have always had our sights set on moving on to address other kinds of financial use cases. Therefore, it makes sense to grow in the capital markets. So, when we're thinking about the traditional markets and we're thinking about stocks and bonds, this is exactly what the Hidden Road acquisition is all about. Indeed, stocks and bonds are exactly what payments are. We now examine some of the most recent opinions that we observed in mid-April, for instance, from Teucrium CO, which does have that 2 XRP leverage ETF. It has already received complete approval. For this, a huge thank you to Smoke Dog. Teucer CO is here. Using XRP and Hidden Road, Ripple is creating the new Wall Street. Pay great attention to this storage value. Additionally, I believe that XRP and the other cryptocurrencies have a valid use case. XRPs is a fantastic working model in my opinion. It will only grow better, in my opinion. They made an acquisition today. I think they purchased a prime broker, which is really significant because it implies they will be able to settle practically instantly across all asset classes within that prime broker. The new Wall Street will get off to a fantastic start. The new Wall Street, which operates very swiftly and is based on blockchain. Wire transfers will no longer take 3 days. We're going to get money right away, which is fantastic. Yes, you also brought up storage value. Yes, I do intend to pay attention when we consider what is actually happening behind Hidden Road. Yes, this is the significant transition from traditional markets to what is effectively the new Wall Street. As you are well aware, Onondo is collaborating closely with Ripple, including XRP. Onondo is constructing a second version of Wall Street. The important thing is this. This is the main driver of Hidden Road and the extent to which it dominates the markets in which it operates, including, of course, stocks, bonds, and even foreign exchange. However, as there are already a lot of numbers